joined now by Winnie Harlow, supermodel and newly minted founder of sun and body care brand Cay Skin. Winnie, thanks so much for joining me today. So much to talk about. First, let's talk about your brand and the inspiration behind it.
Thank you so much. So yes, I created Cay Skin over the past 3 years now. It's my pandemic baby, but it all stemmed from a photo shoot that I had in 2018, where I got horribly burnt on a beach shoot, shooting from sun up to sundown for 2 days in a row, where no one wanted me to apply sunscreen because of the blue and purple cast that it created on my skin. And of course, not wearing sunscreen for 2 days straight and blazing hot Bahama sun is not very smart. So I ended up with the worst sunburn I had ever experienced in my life. And it got me thinking, like, why is there nothing on the market that not only protects your skin, but looks amazing on skin and makes you feel confident to show more skin. But then even thinking deeper into sun and my relationship with sun and sun care, I'm a Caribbean woman from Jamaica. I grew up being back and forth between Canada and Jamaica, and being in Jamaica so much as a kid, sunscreen has always been a big part of my life. My parents have always slathered sunscreen onto my skin. But I even remember back then hating wearing sunscreen because of that same purple and blue cast. So it kind of was twofold, like it was an experience that I had as a kid, as well as an experience that I had as an adult. And when creating Cay Skin, I wanted to make sure that, because it was so true to me, I wanted to make sure that down to the ingredients, the name, the packaging, everything was true to me. And I wanted to make sure that everything was true to me down to the ingredients list, having, aloe vera, which my parents used to cut fresh from the garden in Jamaica and put onto my skin for mosquito bites and for sunburns, and sea moss, which my family and Caribbean people have been consuming for the longest time, which has so many nutrients and benefits to the skin and to consume. So I wanted to make sure there was ingredients that were things that I had always used with my heritage.
Yeah, and I definitely think there's a market for that too, because I'm sure we all remember the first time we got the worst sunburn imaginable, and it's not fun. But we have seen an explosion of celebrity beauty brands, celebrity skincare brands, the Kardashians, Lady Gaga, Scarlett Johansson, Rihanna. How do you differentiate yourself and stand out amid all the competition?
I think the most important thing for me when creating this business was creating something, one, from scratch, and two, that was really true to me. Like I said, like it's something that I have experienced my whole life, especially having vitiligo and my family wanting to make sure that my skin was protected. So I feel like it's a place where I have a lot of ground to stand in, because I've tried everything on the market and nothing was something that I wanted to use all the time, that I was in love with. And sun care is for every day. It's not just something that you put on when you go to the beach or when you think it's going to be sunny outside. You can get sunburned in the most overcast weather. So I wanted to make sure that I was creating not just a sun care brand, but a merge between sun care and skincare that you wanted to use every day.
Speaking of celebrity female businesses, there's a big conversation right now around women in business. Kim K made headlines for controversial advice of just get up and work. What was your take on that? And really, what advice would you give to women in business right now? Because although, females are getting things done, we're making moves, there's still a lot of barriers to entry.
Definitely. Even when it came to fundraising for Cay, it was so difficult. I had so many no's. And I think it's interesting to me because I am one of 100 Black female founders who have raised more than $1 million in funding. And that's insane to me. As a woman of color, seeing how we are not supported and experiencing it by getting all those no's and feeling like this dream that I had of Cay Skin almost not coming to fruition because of all the no's I was getting, but just continuing to persevere and be like, no, you know what, this is actually something I'm really passionate about. I've got to, for my whole career, I've been able to showcase so many other people's hard work in their designs and being on, the red carpets and the runways and showing, those designers' hard work and labor. I was like, listen, this is the first time I get to showcase something that I've created, labored, and worked hard on from day one. This is my brainchild and my baby. So it's something that I can't give up on. And I think it's really just sticking to it, doing the hard work, and not taking no for an answer. And I also had that same mentality when it came to my modeling career in the beginning, where no one knew where to place me, and agencies didn't want to sign me because they didn't know how to brand me and all these different things. And I was like, you know what, I'm just not going to take no for an answer. The first time I went into an agency, which was back home in Toronto, the agent said, you have beautiful bone structure, and you're nice and tall and slim, blah, 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 all these things. But I don't know where we would place you. And maybe if you really want to be in the industry, you should look into going into makeup artistry. And I was like, how rude. But you know what? I'm going to take that and I'm going to prove you wrong. So I feel like I had that same mentality when it came to creating my own business.
And let's reemphasize that fundraising stat, because that really struck me when I read it. You're one of only about 100 Black female founders to have raised more than 1 million in VC funding. I mean, when you hear something like that, how do you hope Cay Skin can inspire other Black female entrepreneurs?
I hope it inspires just to show that it is possible. I think a lot of times you might have an idea and you don't know how to go for it. And I think that was something that happened with me when I came up with the idea for Cay Skin. I really wanted to create this brand and I was really passionate about it, but I didn't know what the next steps were. And again, this goes back to the same thing as my modeling career. People will ask me advice on how to, be a model and what is my biggest advice. And I think it's the team that you put around you, right? Like the people who have the knowledge and have the expertise. I didn't know anything about the modeling industry when I first went in, right? So I had to do my research. I had to watch Naomi Campbell even walk, you know what I mean? Like you have to put that time in and that research into something that you're passionate about and just be willing to learn.
And when it comes to your modeling career, you've said in the past that you broke into the industry really right before there was this big push for diversity. Since that time, how have you seen the industry evolve and what more still needs to be done?
Of course, I think we've all seen how much the industry has evolved and there's always room for improvement, but I also think it's important to acknowledge the changes, like the fact that I would never saw any representation of myself. And now every time I look on a cover, I'm able to know that there's a little girl who is bullied or feels different, has, freckles or curly hair and is bullied about it, whatever the case is, that I get to be that representation that I never got to see within my own childhood. So that is amazing. But when it comes to changes that I see that could be made still, I think education on Black hair. And, I think we're evolving when it comes to makeup artistry. There wasn't a lot of options when it came to colors, tones, and I think we're getting better. There's still room for improvement. I think Black hair is one thing that still a lot of Black models struggle with. And I think education on how to protect, maintain style, all the above when it comes to Black hair is something that still needs a lot of work and education.
And, just to follow up on that, what responsibility do you feel being part of the change within the industry? Because I can imagine that that's a lot of pressure at times.
Yeah, I think it is a lot of pressure. And I think I felt a lot of pressure. I think I felt more pressure when I was younger and newer in the industry because you don't want to upset anyone. You don't want to stir things around too much. You're building your career, right? But as you get bigger into your career and excel at more and more things, I think it's always important not to forget to be a voice for those who are walking in the same footsteps that you once were. So it's definitely something that I speak out about. And it's also amazing to be able to have social media where so many more people have a voice in order to speak up on these topics.
Winnie Harlow, supermodel and newly minted founder of sun and body care brand Cay Skin. Thanks again for joining us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the time.